Hey guys, I can't even tell you how long I've wanted to try tone paper. So when I saw this at my local P&A, I had to pick it up. It was actually pointed out to me recently that I've never actually drawn Spider-Gwen. So let's fix that. This drawing turned into my ultimate trust the process drawing. That's honestly something I've always struggled with as an artist. When the drawing doesn't immediately look how I want it to look, I oftentimes give up. And it's so easy to say, just look at all the works you've accomplished before, just push through and you'll manage, you'll see it'll come out just fine. But after the airbrush inks, I don't know, I wanted to toss this away and start all over again. I tried to go for that watercolor aesthetic that Gwen's world in the Spider-Verse movies has, and it just wasn't coming out right. Something about how the inks reacted to the paper, it just didn't saturate, it looked bad. But something told me to persist. Carry on with your color pencils, go over your background, and again, trust the process. So now the whole purpose of tone paper is it's supposed to make your lighter colors and your whites pop off the page, especially when using color pencils. And with Gwen's costume being predominantly white, I thought she would be the perfect subject matter for this experiment. Now I'm still experimenting and working on my backgrounds, given the feedback I was given at Comic-Con Cape Town. So like all good color pencil paper, this paper's got a bit of tooth to it. You'll actually see it shining through the pigment sometimes. And I found this allowed me to layer the pigment quite quickly, which was a huge blessing, because if you've worked with color pencils before, you know they take a lot of time to saturate the page. Now you'll see a bit of a lighting change halfway through this video. And the reason for that is the answer to a question I actually get asked quite a bit, which is, how do you balance art, gym, rugby, and a newborn baby all at once? Never mind the injury I picked up on top of that. And the short answer is, I don't. Or at least I wasn't. What I found was, if I tried working in the evenings like I normally did, I used to feel like quite guilty because I was spending no time with the baby and not helping my wife out in that regard, and that just wasn't sitting right with me. And that resulted in me neglecting my art and actually not working on it at all, to be honest. And it is something I love, and something I've always been taught is, if you love something, you will make time for it. And that's what I've done here. So going back to the lighting change, the reason for that is I've actually started waking up really early in the mornings to work on my artwork before work itself. And honestly, it's only been a couple of days, but I've noticed a really positive change in my lifestyle actually. By the time I start my work day, I'm actually already feeling really accomplished because I've worked on my art before work. Not only that, I'm finding the time for gym again, and I'm spending time with the baby and my wife as I wanted to. And none of that subconscious guilt is actually seeping in. I'm still going to bed at a reasonable hour, I'm not crashing out throughout the day. The biggest challenge is actually just getting out the bed in the morning. Doesn't help that it's freezing cold in South Africa at the moment. But once I'm up, make myself a cup of coffee, I'm ready to go. So yeah, I just wanted to briefly touch on that. Now that we're a bit further along in the drawing, I can't say how happy I am with how the background came out after the pencil work. And how happy I am that I persisted with this pencil drawing. And man oh man did the tone paper work for me. With the dark blue background and Gwen's pinks and whites, there's no question that she's the subject matter, and I don't think anything draws your eye away from her in this drawing, which is something I struggle with when doing backgrounds. That watercolor aesthetic I was actually going for, I feel like it's lost a little bit here, but you know what, we'll say just Gwen's in another universe. After all, it's the Spider-Verse movies. Now the purple highlight on her hoodie doesn't necessarily make sense, but I wanted to give her a contrasting lighting effect to make her stand out a little bit more from the blue background. I think it complements the maroony pink on the inside of her hoodie anyway. Another thing I love about these long form videos is how steadily my desk gets messier and messier, and that's just like the artist experience, to be honest. And we're pretty much done. There we have it. I'm really happy with how this piece came out. Can't believe I've never done Spider-Gwen before, but I think she complements my Spider-Verse pieces I've actually done already. Tell me, what do you guys think?